Hello everybody, I am Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, and I am back with another edition of Front Row, these music reaction videos, and I'm back in the wonderful world of Elvis Presley with a studio recording, I believe, of His Hand in Mine. This is from the late 50s, and I think that this is a very early foray into gospel music. I do not know this song, so this should be a really interesting sort of bit of a left turn, I think, for the reactions I'll be doing to Elvis. Before I get into that, though, quick reminder to check out the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, the podcast that shares this channel, where my wife and I go back and rewatch some of our favourite film and television franchises, in addition to the other film, TV, music, and general pop culture related goodness that is also on this channel. Quick reminder that I do pause these videos, I do talk over them. That is just how I choose to react. If that is not to your taste, then I'm afraid it is what it is. And I would also strongly urge you to listen to this song in its entirety before you go and see me talk all over it and potentially spoiler it. So yeah, do not follow my terrible example in that regard. Also, likes and subscribes, very much appreciated. The more subscribers we have, the more people find the channel, the more conversation that we get into, and ultimately that is the reason for doing this and a great motivator for recording these reactions with a greater level of regularity. So yeah, let's get into this. Only thing remains to say is do appreciate donations via PayPal to support the upkeep of the channel, but please, as is always the case, only do so if you can without causing yourself any financial hardship. So yeah, His Hand in Mine, Elvis Presley. Let's see what this is. Let's go.
You may ask me how I know my Lord is real. My Lord is real. You may doubt the things I say and doubt the way I feel. The way I feel. But I know He's real today. He'll always be. He'll always be. I can feel His hand in mine, and that's enough for me.
All right. So this is one of those pieces of music where, and I think I've touched on this before, where I can't imagine this being created. You know, there are some pieces of music that you hear and we all see different things in our mind's eye when we hear music. Often, I've said before, I play guitar, I've been in bands, I've been in recording studios, I've played concerts, I've done all that. So often I imagine it being recorded. You know, I go there, I imagine the singer in the booth, I imagine the instruments being separated, or if it's an older recording, I imagine, you know, the context of that, you know, the people gathered around smaller numbers of microphone, less separation between instruments. And then there's things like this, pieces of music where none of that happens because you're taken to another place. And this is where I've talked before about ethereal music, music that feels like it wasn't created. It's just always existed. And we're just finding it. You know, it's not being made, it's being discovered and harnessed and shared. And this feels like something that I can almost imagine just appearing out of the ether, you know, fully formed. It just feels like it wasn't made by people. It's harnessing some, and I guess this inevitably gets into the spirituality element of it. You do hear about musicians who are able to access places when they are performing music, which to them has some sort of spiritual assignment, some sort of spiritual power. And here what you get is you get the vocals, that just choral sound, incredible bassy male baritone in the background, and this great range. You get the piano and bass and Elvis, and really that's it. A lot of echo. And what that does is it creates a feeling of floating, a feeling of non-corporeality. We're not physical items. We are matter. We're non-physical. It gives this feeling of just floating in the air and the clouds and blue skies and nature. And it's really almost supernatural or non-natural. And the fact that it's hard to explain is beautiful, because it's something that you just feel. And I'm probably doing it somewhat of a disservice by trying to intellectualize it. But that's what I do. That's what we do. That's what we do when we react and we critique and we do all of those sort of things. But this, the image there on the cover of the record captures that as well. The brightness, the airiness. It gives you a sense of the sky and clouds and purity. It's a really powerful, hard to define thing that pulls you in and just exists, and it's really beautiful.
I will never walk alone. He holds my hand. He holds my hand. He will guide each step I take, and if I fall, I know he'll understand. Till the day he tells me why he loves me so. He loves me so. I can feel his hand in mine. That's all I need to know.
There's also an incredible sense of comfort in this, not just in the lyrics, this idea of his hand in mine, this idea of being helped along and companionship, spiritual companionship, but just the communal nature of choral vocals and just how musically relaxing. I can almost feel my blood pressure reducing listening to this. And I think I've talked before about the sense of us that you get with Elvis, this idea that he'll often sing about loneliness and heartbreak, but we are with him and we're with each other. We're sharing this as an audience. So that creates a real sense of comradeship in loneliness, which of course religion does as well, and worship and group collective worship does as well. And I think that's all here in this song, in how it sounds and the sentiment behind the lyrics and the meaning of it.
I will never walk alone. He holds my hand. He holds my hand. He will guide each step I take.
Beautiful tremulous vocal.
I know he'll understand. Till the day he tells me why he loves me so.
That's what it feels like.
I can feel his hand in mine. That's all I need to know. I can feel his hand in mine. That's all I need to know. I can feel his hand in mine. That's all I need to know.
Beautiful. It's higher there. I just feel better for having listened to that, And I've said before, I'm not a religious person, and that's probably an oversimplification. We're all complex beings, but this feeling of us as energy, you really feel that in this song, and incredible vocal from Elvis. That tremolo that's going, and the moments where he chooses to just very subtly go up a little bit there creates a real sense of power, and but at the same time, it's a very closed eyes. I'm sure he would have had his eyes closed when he performed this, And I found myself doing that, listening to it as well. It does feel like he's accessing something when he's performing this, and the people who are performing with him, and we as the audience are accessing that with him as well. And that's a tremendously powerful gift for a human being to have, and an incredible testimony to this genre of music. And I would imagine, in the late 50s, Elvis was, his ascent was still continuing. He hadn't gone to the army yet. I think that's when this came out. And he must have felt struggled, he must have felt challenged by all of the temptation, that a young man would have in this situation, and balancing that out with his sense of duty to his family and his beliefs must have been really difficult. And I think that having the solace of this and the bravery, I guess, to be able to record and put out music when you're being held up as the poster child of the youth movement is, I think, says a lot about the incredible conviction, but also sophisticated musical talent to be able to be part of a recording that captures something so ethereal. Really is tremendous. That's a great piece of music, and I'm looking forward to checking out the rest of this record. And great album cover there as well. Look at him there. It's that feels like how it sounds. And I like it when album covers do that. That was tremendous. So quick reminder, do appreciate feedback. Donations via PayPal if you can afford it, but please don't if it's going to cause you any problems. Just likes and subscribes and comments and just listening and watching. That's all that I really ask. And a reminder to check out the other content on this channel, and I'll be back very soon with more music reactions and more Elvis Presley. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.